Welcome to another episode of Otaku Don. I am the host with the most, aka Tony Melbourne in the building. This is just Charles here. We are here for another chapter of One Piece, the final leak of 2023. One Piece 1103. That's fitting.
1103, 2023.
Exactly.
Did Oda do it on purpose? We'll never know.
We won't. But make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, do all of the things.
Love us.
And stick around for a while. But this chapter is called I'm Sorry, Dad. And it starts off with Bonnie fighting Saturn.
All right. So when we're talking about fights in text form, there's not really too much of a conversation to be had. Bonnie fights Saturn. We know how Bonnie fights. She be slapping people around, aging them all different ways. I kind of want to see Saturn aged. I don't know if you have armament hockey, if you can automatically release. Like, how do you resist Bonnie's aging?
I would say the same way that you probably have to have a certain level of Conqueror's hockey, because that's the way that Big Mom ignored Law's room for a while. Yeah, like he couldn't move her around in it. He could do his own shit in it, but he couldn't move her around inside of the room. So I think that you have to have a level of Conqueror's hockey that's just like, we're not doing that.
It's a wild level of will, and then you can superimpose your will on the rest of the world and say your powers don't work on me, kid. Because honestly, if there wasn't an offense against Kid's power, he would just win everything automatically.
Could this be? I'd be very disappointed. All right, well, the second point, because I have things to talk about that I want to talk about. We get to reveal that Saturn experimented on Bonnie during her childhood, or during her time before she escaped to sea. And one of her powers comes from that his experiments. I feel like one, that's her daddy.
Saturn?
Yes.
Well, I mean, that is the general thought pattern based upon Bonnie's mother being ditched by Saturn after it was figured out.
Well, was it necessarily Saturn? They don't tell you who it was. They just say she got ditched. But the fact that he just seems so
he's so intertwined with this entire thing, I don't think
it feels personal.
I wouldn't say it feels personal. I would just say Kuma has the inordinate bad luck to actually come across one of the Tenryubito, I think they're called.
Yeah, but it's either personal because it's his daughter, or he feels away because of what Kuma said to him in the very beginning when he first met Saturn. It was like, why do people like you have power? Like, why are y'all born powerful and we're not? Like, are you just that mad that he had the gall to challenge you or question your authority? And so now you just making his life a living hell.
Petty, or I honestly just think Saturn is an inordinately bad person, and he is going to take the bad route to do most things. Like he is just not a good person.
Like, why experiment on Bonnie like that? Like,
why not?
You're right.
I'm a giant jerk. I have this child here who I probably don't really is less more than likely is if this is my child, I probably didn't consider her mother people. I don't consider her people. I don't consider them my equals. So I'm not experimenting on people. It's like me experimenting on a lab rat. And this is how I view these things. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take this giant syringe like I'm Injection Fairy Lily and shoot some drugs in this woman and see what comes out.
That's what it feels like happened, because he just has been doing whatever.
What happens when you eat a devil fruit when you're pregnant?
That could be interesting. Also, Bonnie starts to lose the fight.
The fact that she's holding up at all is kind of a miracle. That also states.
So, since there's such little here, I have a couple of questions.
We can do.
What do you think is happening with Luffy and Kizaru? Do you think they're still like knocked out?
Well, Kizaru was like,
He was down for the count. It seemed
he
like.
was sitting up there wondering, it's just like, Jesus Christ, why did I make this choice? I wonder if I can go do an Aokiji and just kind of like bounce.
I want to see if he's gonna get up and be an ally or a foe.
Oh no, I feel like Kizaru is too firmly in the foe category. He's not like, if this was Fujitora, he probably, there's a reason why they just didn't send Fujitora to begin with.
Yeah, that's a fact. He'd have been on Luffy's side.
Excuse me, what are you about to do? Yeah, we're about to go betray the scientists.
Yeah, it'd have been an Admiral and Luffy versus Saint J, and then that just wouldn't have
It's
been.
just like, you are unjust.
We're gonna
I
jump
am
you.
justice. No, that's not justice. Needs to make people whole. I am making them whole. No. You're supposed to be on our side. I'm gonna drop a meteor on you and see how much your double craft can do with that.
Yeah, so no, I'm just interested to see. I wonder if Luffy's gonna wake up. I wonder if they're gonna interact, and I guess we can talk about the end of how it ends. It says at the end of the chapter, Kuma arrives and prepares to fight Saturn. So like, is Luffy still down this whole time when Kuma gets there, or does Kuma get to see him and know that's Nika?
Well, we know. Gear 5. Luffy has no actual fundamental control of Gear 5. Also, I would like to mention that it seems as though Gear 4 is officially no longer a thing.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Well, like, it just seems like it's not a thing at all. Which is kind of weird to me, but...
That he just goes straight to Gear 5 now?
Well, yeah, because what was the point? Like, we spent all this time... Like, partially I can understand why we got rid of Gear 4 in both forms. Because they were basically pseudo versions of this.
Yeah.
That's cool. We got rid of Gear 3, like, basically a long time ago. Like, he stopped doing Elephant Gun.
The only one that he uses
Gear 2.
is Gear 2. It's always Gear 2 and whatever current gear he's using are the two that he like sticks with. Because I think Gear 2 is just strictly
Overall
a speed
utility.
upgrade and endurance. So he's like, I could just do that one and not have to go all out on like.
So like most
people.
peons, honestly, Red Hawk will take care of 9 people out of 10 on. And then if I need to go, like, if I'm worried about it at that point, I probably
might as well just go Gear 5.
Because Gear 3 was basically Gear 5 in its own. Because I've been talking about this with a buddy of mine for quite some time, and we kind of realized that Gear 5, all the other gears is just it's a combination of things that Luffy has basically already done, or it's a combination of things that add up to Gear 5.
Yes.
So it's just like, oh, the reason why your bones were linked together enough to a point where you could blow air into them was cartoon logic. And
I think that we all should have kind of realized that there was a little bit of cartoon logic in Luffy's powers, because Oda told us in the very beginning when he discovered Gear 3 that the way that he did it was because he looked at them and decided that he was going to move his blood around his body real fast.
Well, that was Gear 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I started questioning.
So
I've been
it's
questioning
like-
it since then. It's just like, where did these power-ups come from? He just intuitively figured it out. But the body doesn't work that way. And we have actual like, Chopper's probably sitting here like, so Chopper, if I move my blood around real fast, will it make me move real fast? Will you actually listen to me if I say no?
I'm going to do it.
Then go ahead and do whatever the heck you want to.
The fact that you could even control your blood to make it like
Is
circulate
weird
faster
and upsetting.
is a cartoon logic power. So it's just like, you
I have to
always
take drugs in
been
order
doing,
to do shortcut things.
Yeah, been doing this cartoon logic, and then we just kind of like been letting you get away with it as like, it's just like, all right, well, that's just how his power works. And now it's like, oh no, his power is cartoons. And so
Yeah.
I want to see if Kuma gets to see Nika. Like, I think that'd be important.
Oh, that'd probably just be a nice farewell for him. It's just like, what you about to do? Oh, shoot. Nika.
Also, how do you think Kuma's going to fight Saturn? Do you think
paws and lasers.
Well, the two things that I have two ideas. He's going to take all the pain that he suffered over the time and put it into
So
Saturn.
what? You think he's been faking it this entire time? He's like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up.
So either that, or I think that he's going to self-destruct.
Self-destruct is more likely, or possibly both.
Because I feel like Saturn needs to suffer. At this point, Saturn's like I don't know what the other like girls they have done, but I know what Saturn's done, and he has to suffer for like all the transgressions
Like
that he's had.
If you want to go by the typical Oda writing structure, the first person we see out of any group is always the weakest, and they are typically the least bad out of the group. Like honestly, this makes like he makes Sanji's father look like father of the freaking year.
Oh yeah, if he's really
It's just
Bonnie's
like-
dad and he's been like this horrible, yeah, no, he makes all the other fathers in this look like, all right, well, they're not you.
Like, well, you're not Saturn at the very least. Like, oh god, no. Like, man,
He's fucking crazy.
why the heck would that even? Oh god, is that the realm that I'm messing around in?
Getting close to it, but I don't think there's too much more to talk about this until the actual chapter comes out.
Seems like it's going to be a pretty action-packed chapter, which is...
I'm excited to be back in the present.
Yep, Bonnie sitting up here stabbing him, shifting him back and forth in time.
That'd be pretty cool. I want Bonnie to go into her Buccaneer Nika form and big fist punch him.
I want her to shift herself into King of the Pirates form and then hit him with Godly Divide. How about that?
That'd be pretty dope.
Like-
too. Like she should. The fact that she could just go into these different futures is interesting. So,
Which power do you think of Bonnie's is the one? I'm thinking it's the timeline shifting thing.
I think it's the whole devil fruit. I don't think she ate a devil fruit. They didn't show us one, so I think he gave her this whole ability. When it says the one power, I think they mean what her power is.
Oh, and next thing you know, I can also swim. Ha 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 ha! I'm an undefeatable monster.
That'd be terrible. Get your
I
ass
mean,
out
you
this water.
didn't eat it.
True, but get your ass out that water anyway.
Well, just off principle. You're taunting everyone with the devil fruit. I'm gonna age all the water.
But make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, do all the things.
I
All
love you guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new people here.
yeah. So, welcome.
Welcome.
See you next time.
Bye bye.
Did you know that Chopper used to jump into